Hey y'all, Pastor Charlie again with another in my continuing series of my favorite memories of faith. We've talked about an awful lot of stuff these last few weeks, and it's been a joy for me to remember all of the incredible experiences that Alice and I have had here with you all. A few weeks ago, I also talked about local missions and how impressed I was at how faith embraced that. And I wanted to save today's for a separate memory because we've also done missions far away. We've done missions to places like Costa Rica, which was a wonderful 4-hour flight away. Puerto Rico, about another 3 or 4 hours away. And those were wonderful, and some of y'all took part in that. And I know that you were blessed, and so were they, to have you there. But my favorite memories are from even farther away. 2 places in particular. Israel, which is a very comfortable 14-hour flight from here, and also Kenya, which I'll talk about in a minute. I love both of these, but for different reasons. Israel, of course, is like taking a sacred journey back into our Bible memories. Everything that we've ever learned about the Bible, and we've often said, gosh, I wish I could see that. Well, you can. And we did. We went to the birthplace of Jesus in Bethlehem. I remember one trip, it was snowing on that trip in Bethlehem. Wow. We went to where Jesus taught at the Sea of Galilee. We walked where he walked. We were on the same waters that he fished and rowed boats in. And then we went to Jerusalem and we sat where he sat and taught. And we went to where he was crucified. We also ended our trip the very last day, the last hour at the Garden Tomb where he was resurrected. And so that was a powerful journey of going back in, almost going back in time and living our Bible dreams. And I actually got to see Leonard Gandy in a bathing suit in the Dead Sea, which we'll talk about another time. But also, another favorite memory is from a mission trip, the 2 trips we did to Kenya, which is a longer flight, but a wonderful, wonderful experience. It's like Israel, but in a much different way. The thing that they have in common the most is that you can't go anywhere without feeling the Holy Spirit. God is everywhere in Kenya. God is in nature, in the mountains, in the wonderful animals that we see everywhere. God is in the people and in their worship. God is everywhere, and we were privileged to be there. One of the things that we did that struck me most and stayed with me the most was visiting the orphanages. This is a picture of one of the children that we ministered to, this little Lincoln. I met Lincoln. Lincoln really didn't know who I was. Lincoln had a problem that his brain had not formed, and so he couldn't take care of himself. He couldn't really speak, but he could smile a little bit. And I picked up Lincoln and I didn't let him down for 2 hours. I simply wouldn't let anybody else hold him. There was something about him that communicated to me what God's love really is all about. And after our trip, I found out that little Lincoln had died just a few weeks after that. But it made me realize how precious every soul is. And that's why we do trips like this, so we can be reminded of God's precious love for all people. It was a marvelous time, and my favorite memory, though, and I hope you'll see a picture of this, is I had the privilege of baptizing over a dozen young people there at that place. It was a high holy moment for me. I don't know that I've ever had another ministry memory like that, and I'll never forget that. Both places were wonderful, but what made them even more special is the fact that I got to do it with many of you and a lot of the folks here from Cartersville churches. That's what makes these memories special, and that's why I'll always cherish them, is because we got to do Bible study in Israel and mission in Kenya with you. And so thank you for that privilege, and I look forward to sharing more memories with you next week. But until then, just know how much we love you. Bye-bye.